Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jake with Fitness Insider, and today we're going to be going over the 2020 Arnold Classic. And I'm telling you, man, this is a damn stacked lineup. I'm so freaking excited for this. To me, this looks better than the Olympia, the 2019 Olympia, and I can't say enough about all these competitors, man. It's going to be so damn fun. I do want to say I got two different lists. One was from the website, and one was from the Instagram of the Arnold Classic. So I'm going to go ahead and follow suit with all the other YouTubers that are covering the Instagram one. So anyways, go ahead and follow me along, and it's going to be a fun discussion. I'm going to go ahead and get into who I think the top 6 is going to be. So let's get into it. Alright, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do this by, so the deal is, this is such a stacked lineup that the second call-out is going to be amazing in its own right. So the first call-out goes without saying that it is going to be insane. Basically, another Olympia in the spring. So let's go ahead and get into this. I was just going to do a top 3, but I'm going to go ahead and just try to predict basically the top 6 and where everyone's going to place. Now, this is highly dependent on conditioning. In fact, that's mostly going to be the factor that decides where everyone's going to place, because they are all capable of winning the show, the top 6 anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my predictions based on how these guys usually show up on average to a show, and let's get right into this. And coming in at 6th place, I'm going to go ahead and predict that it's going to be Josh Lonardo Wits. Now, I know a lot of people might be upset with this prediction. In fact, my whole prediction, people are just going to be picking apart probably. But, dude, we all know this could go any way. These guys are all phenomenal. I give Josh 6th basically because the bigger he's gotten, the more he seems to struggle with conditioning. He didn't place that well at last year's, and since then, he's had an issue with, I believe, a tumor on his skull or some kind of illness like that, and I don't believe it's cancer. I'm not too sure, but he had some kind of surgery on his head to remove like a cyst or a tumor or something, and yeah, I just, I don't know. I just imagine that he's not going to be able to push it as hard as he likes to, because he has his health to be worried about. And just beyond that, there's just the next several guys are all, a higher caliber. Even though he is right up there when he's diced, his structure is not enough to carry him through. And my prediction for 5th is going to be Dexter Jackson. Now, this was a very hard one for me because, man, Dexter, even at 50 years old, he just turned 50, he is amazing. He placed 4th in the Olympia, man, this last year. Granted, there was a lot of people missing, and because of that, that's my main point to why I think he's dropping places this time. Well, there's so many bigger guys that are younger and still in their prime, whereas Dexter is holding on to his physique so well. That's just it. He's holding on to his prime, which it is tapering off. You can see that he's not the same bodybuilder that he was when he won the Olympia. So granted, he's still going to be right up there with the best, but I don't see him beating any of the next guys here, so that's why I think he fell. But he's still one of the best in my book. I just want to put that on record. And taking the number 4, I'm going to go ahead and say Cederick Mcmillian. Now, Cedric, as we all know, is genetics-wise, he is out of this world. This dude should be killing everybody almost every time. He should be taking the Olympia at least a few of these last years. If he just came in diced, he should at least have one Sandow, if not several more, and he just can't seem to dial it in. I love Cedric, man. Everybody loves Cedric. He's such a cool guy, but he has everything. He really is just... He's basically, man, the perfect bodybuilder. He has, with the size that he has, he probably has the best lines and mass all together. Just conditioning, man. He just, I've heard rumors that he said that, from what I heard, he had a health scare a few years back, I believe, to, I don't know, maybe just from the stuff he was doing, the prep before a competition, and I believe that scared him from ever going that hard again. That's just a rumor that I heard, but either way, Cedric, man, 4th place is still phenomenal with this stacked lineup, and like I said before, he could win it if he came in, the best he's ever come. I just don't see that happening, and that's why I'm putting Cederick in fourth. And now we're getting down to what you could say brass taxes. Now, okay. Now I'm sure I'm gonna basically have a lot of conflicting opinions from this point on. But look, follow me, all right? William Bonac in third, and I say this only because the next two competitors are much bigger and just, I think, better bodybuilders all around. Now, William he's a phenomenal bodybuilder. He came in at second in the Olympia last year with a pretty lackluster lineup. But either way, if you watched him during the Olympia last year, he came in off. In a sense, when I say off, he just wasn't as big, and he had some kind of injury where his legs were just subpar, and I feel bad. That sucks that happened, but, we got to be real about this thing, man. Hadi Choopan should have beat him. He should have placed behind Hadi, at least, in the Olympia, in my opinion. And I don't imagine that from September, to this competition, about 6 months, I don't think that he's going to be able to bring his legs up enough to compete with the next two guys. And, like I said, this dude comes in pretty damn good conditioning and very well-rounded bodybuilder. With everything going on with this guy, I just don't see him beating these next two guys. So, William, third place in my book. Second place, Roelly Winklaar. And look, man, Roelly is currently my favorite bodybuilder. I would love to say that I think this guy's going to win the competition. And he totally could win the competition. There is not a freakier bodybuilder in any lineup, okay? This is currently the biggest, freakiest dude pound for pound. And I think when he nails his conditioning, I think he could beat Ramy. But the problem is that Roelly, 2018 was very good to him. 2019, not so much. He basically disappointed every show, and I don't know if he just missed the mark a couple times and he can turn that back around, or if the age is getting to him and he's having a harder and harder time coming in with that crazy conditioning. So I'm just kind of following the trend here. I think he's going to be second just because the recent trend of 2019. But again, I would like to say Roelly versus Ramy, with Roelly being maybe like how he was when he won the Arnold Australia, that conditioning, I think he would win the show, honestly. I really don't think Ramy could take him at that point, but I think Roelly's probably going to look somewhere similar between the Arnold and the Olympia last year. Now, you know what? After that loss to Brandon Curry, I mean, just really to everybody, he placed fifth in the Olympia, so that might be enough of a kick in the ass to just come in peeled, man. And I really hope so, because he truly could take first, and I hope he takes first. But as of now, I'm going to go ahead and put him in second place. And we all knew this was coming. Big Ramy, I think, is going to go ahead and take the whole thing. You know what? He had that shoulder issue going on, but he claims it was fixed. And in the most recent pictures I've seen this guy in, and in the videos, he's looking insane, man. He already looks, he's months in the offseason, and he already looks very tight for being this far out of a competition. And again, the same thing I said with Roelly applies to him. He's so big, he's so well put together, he has almost zero weaknesses. All he has to do is come in with pretty decent conditioning. He don't even have to be shredded. He's so genetically blessed with mass, line, structure. All he has to do is come in at 90%, and he's going to wipe the floor with everybody. I mean, Roelly, I think, would be his biggest competition. If they both came in with equal conditioning, we got a battle going on. But I think Ramy, sitting out of last year's competitive season for the most part, I know he wants his name to come back and have that glory of being the top dog again. I think he wants to make a serious impression going into the Olympia, because why pick the Arnold Classic as your returning show? Why not just snag some small show to get a qualification for the Olympia? I think he knows, man. He knows he's on to something. He's got something big planned. He's coming in, man. And I think he's going to really impress a lot of people. Again, I could be wrong. As I said before, Rami and Roelly both they are the biggest guys, so of course they struggle with conditioning. And you know what? He could show up just like he did in the 2018 Olympia, just 20 pounds overweight, just looking down. Like, he was so watery. It was insane. I heard he dropped 20 pounds from Friday to the night show on Saturday. I heard he literally dropped 20 pounds. And when he did that, he looked phenomenal the next day. If he had came in Friday the way he came in Saturday, and then dialed in even a little bit more for Saturday, he might have, who knows what would have happened. But my point is that this guy, if he came in 100% diced, everybody knows he's unbeatable. So that's why I put him in first place. Alright, guys, so that basically does it for my predictions for the top 6 in this competition. Now, as I've said before, I think these guys are going to move around based on who comes in shredded and who doesn't. However, I do think all 6 are pretty safe, making that top 6. However, I do have a couple dark horses, or honorable mentions, I guess you could say. Lionel Bayeki, this guy is, genetics-wise, man, he's a specimen, man. He looks phenomenal. His biggest issue is the conditioning, but I think if he comes in with all the time off he's had, I think if he comes in diced, he's going to be a problem for everybody. Next, Steve Kuklo. He came in the 2019 Olympia looking pretty damn good. Took 6th place, and yeah, man, conditioning is finally getting where it needs to be. His structure is pretty damn good. I don't think he has the genetics of anybody in the top 6 that I said, but he's a very good, well-rounded bodybuilder. We'll see what happens with Steve. Johnny Jackson and Victor Martinez, I just want to mention them because it's cool to see that they're coming back. I have very little faith that they're going to do any damage here, but yeah, it's cool that they're coming back, just, whether they want to come back just to have fun again or just because they miss competing. It'll be fun seeing them, but I don't foresee them doing any kind of damage here. And the biggest guy that I think has potential to cause an upset here is Patrick Moore. He was really overlooked at the Olympia, and he came in looking amazing, man. Very good genetics, very good conditioning. If he comes in and replicates that conditioning, he's on the map now, man. The judges definitely missed him last time, but he's on the map. People are going to be looking for this guy, and if he comes in replicating that conditioning, man, I can't even predict where he's going to end up. It's really going to depend on the top 6 of what happens to Patrick. But honestly, I think he could place, anywhere in that 4 through 6 range. I really don't see him going into the top 3. It's not impossible, but I definitely see, if he did come in amazing, he could hit that 4 to 6. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where that guy ends up. But yeah, all in all, man, this is really the most stacked lineup I've seen in a long time. Dude, I'm more excited for this than I was for the Olympia in 2019. This is a very, very good looking lineup, and I really cannot wait to see what happens here. So anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around. It's been fun. This is Jake with Fitness Insider. I'll see you guys next time.